Hello everyone, welcome to the first edition of Let's Talk Supercars for season 2022. Now before the season starts today at Sydney Motorsport Park, I thought I'd make a video where I make predictions on which driver is going to finish where for the year, what their results are going to be, yada yada yada, as well as their car liveries and championship predictions. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, starting off the list of drivers is, of course, Nick Percat. Now, he's changed teams from Brad Jones Racing to Walkinshaw Andretti United for 2022. Now, of course, he was part of Walkinshaw test squad back in 2014 when they gave him his full-time seat debut. And he also won Bathurst with them as well in 2011. This year, I think he's going to go all right. There's a strong package, of course. Last year, they finished off the year strong with a Bathurst win. So I reckon expect a lot of top 10s, a lot of top 5s, maybe a podium. And I think they have if they play their cards and strategies right, I reckon Nick can get a win this year. It'll be cool to see. Next up is Tim Slade in the Cool Drive entry for Blanchard Racing. Now, car looks pretty much the same as last year. They had a decent up and down year last year. They started off very, very strong. However, in Bathurst, the beginning of the year, they had a massive shunt, and I feel like they kind of went quiet after that. But they started off really strong, and I can't wait to see what they do this year. Of course, they've got the new engine supplier of Harrod. Believe me, it's Harrod Performance Engines. Sorry, I didn't have my notes with me at the time. Which is the engine supplier for DJR. So they've got rid of the Tickford supplier. However, they've still got the Tickford chassis, but they've now got a DJR engine, which is going to be really interesting to see how that affects their performance for the year. I reckon expect Tim to be in the top 10s. Mix of top 10s, top 15 throughout the year, maybe a top 5s, and maybe a potential top podium, not top podium, but like a possible podium finish. So that'll be interesting to see. Fingers crossed. I personally would like to see that. Hopefully they can, be as strong as they were at the start of last year. Now, next up is car number 4 in the hands of Jack Smith. Now, he's returning once again with Brad Jones Racing for another year in the SCT Logistics car. This car looks really good, actually. I don't mind the white and red. Now, he has had an average year last year, finished 21st in the championship, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm expecting probably top 15. He'll probably be in the 20s as well. Although Sydney Motorsport Park last year, he did actually make it, I think, into the top 10 or just the 11th. I can't remember if it's one of the two. So maybe we might see a surprise top 10 from him. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next up is number 5 in the hands of James Courtney. Now today, I'm filming the day before practice for round 1 of the Supercars Championship. Now today, Tickford revealed Courtney's car for the year. Of course, in Winton testing, he actually ran a black car. Opposite Lock is sponsoring him for the year. The car doesn't look too bad. I like the white and black. With a bit of red, quite similar to Scott Pye's and Nick Percat's car, actually, with the colours. Now, he had a bit of he didn't have such a bad year last year, but he didn't have a strong year. I sort of expect something similar, probably maybe top 10s, just below, somewhere between the 10th and 20th range. I don't feel like he'll get any podiums this year, but I hope he surprises me. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Next up is car number 6 in the hands of Cam Waters. Now they've gone with the exact same livery as last year, pretty much, with the Monster Energy as a backer. Now he was really strong last year, just not as consistent as maybe Gisbergen or Mostert, but definitely don't rule him out. I reckon he's a championship contender this year. Expect a lot of top 5s, consistently probably in the top 10 all year. Expect a few wins from him as well. And I reckon he has what it takes. If he gets his consistency right, him and Tickford, I reckon they have what it takes to take on Gisbergen. Now, next up is Andre Heimgartner. Now, he's moved teams from last year. Of course, last year he was part of the Kelly Grove crew, which is now Grove Racing for this year. He's now moved to Brad Jones Racing. He's hopped into Nick Percat's car for this year. RJ Batteries as a backer. Now, of course, with Brad Jones Racing, I'm not sure if that's for a full year or just for the round. They like to swap liveries and show off their sponsors, which is really nice to see. Anyway, getting off topic, I think he was really strong in some circuits last couple of years with Kelly Grove Racing. Of course, he was able to get a podium and a pole and a win. I reckon he has Brad Jones. Him and Brad Jones have what it takes to repeat that, if not maybe more. So I expect probably top 10s for him, maybe top 13, I would say, and possible podium here and there, and potentially a win. He definitely has potential for a win if he has a good day. Next up is the Erebus entry of Will Brown in car number 9. Now they've got a Boost Mobile as a main sponsor this year for both cars, not just Kostecki, and they look fantastic. They actually remind me of the 2018 Walkinshaw car when they went white. That looks really cool. Now, he had a strong year last year, a strong rookie season, of course, getting a win at the Sydney Motorsport Park event. I can't wait to see what him and the Erebus guys do this year. So definitely keep an eye out for him. I expect a lot of top 10s, top 5s, similar to other guys. But I reckon Brown has what it takes for another win or two. So keep a massive eye on him and the Erebus guys and girls. Next up is Lee Holdsworth making a return to full-time racing. This time in the hands of the car number 10 for Grove Racing or Penrite Racing. Now, his Bathurst performance last year was amazing. Of course, he got a win with Chaz Mostert, which in a way has earned him the full-time seat for this year. Now, I feel like him and Reynolds, this is a make-or-break season. Now, of course, young Kiwi of Matthew Payne, who's currently in the Super 2 series for this year. There's talks about him hopping in one of the full-time seats for next year. So I feel like Holdsworth and Reynolds will be fighting each other for a 2023 seat. So definitely keep an eye on both of them. I reckon he was really strong at Bathurst. I reckon probably top 15, top 10s. Might take him a little while to get into it after a full year out. But definitely don't rule him out. I reckon he has what it takes. The cars aren't particularly consistent with pace all the time. That's why I say the top 15. But I reckon he can even make it into the top 5, maybe a podium. So stay tuned for that. Next up, of course, is car 11 with Anton De Pasquale back in DJR colours. Of course, they're running the same livery as they do every year. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the livery. It's really nice. I love the red. It's definitely a car that stands out. And obviously, red goes faster. He had a strong year last year. First year with the team, of course. Now, this year, he should be more comfortable. And with that comfortability, he should be quicker. And I reckon he, alongside Cam Wooters, is a championship contender. So definitely keep an eye out for him. He definitely has what it takes to possibly win this year's title. Shane was hard to beat last year. I reckon he might be hard to beat again this year. But I think Anton has what it takes this year. He has, he knows the team well. He knows Ludo well. He knows the car well. So I think he has what it takes this year. It's probably his best chance in Gen 2 to win the title. So keep a massive eye out for him. It'll be exciting to see what he can do. Next up is Bryce Forward. Now, he is no longer in the number 2 Walkinshaw and Andretti United car in the hands of Nick Percat now. He's now in Todd Hazelwood's seat at BJR. So he's got the car number 14 as well as Todd's engineer for last year. Now, of course, Mitty's Electrical is backing him and the team. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be a full year sponsor. I'll be surprised if they change it. It's a nice looking car. I like to call it the Alpine of supercars. A lot of people do that with the pink and blue, but they've done a better job at making a livery than Formula One has. I'm not a huge fan of the front, however, but it definitely does stand out, that's for sure. Now, he's had an up and down career in supercars so far. He wasn't really strong last year in the car number 2. I'm looking forward to see what he can do with Brad Jones Racing this year. So I reckon he might be in the top 10s. I'm definitely not counting him out for a top 5, and possibly top 15. So probably consistently throughout the year, top 10s, top 15. Next up, Will Davison in the 17 Dick Johnson Racing car. Now, this is he has a lot to prove this year. Now, he's a good driver. He's a really good driver. Really talented behind the wheel. But I feel like this is the year he has to prove himself and show the world why he's in that car that he is now. Because he had a bit of an average year last year. He wasn't last or anything. He just wasn't very exciting. No offense, Will. Hopefully he brings a lot to the table this year. Hopefully, I wouldn't call him a championship contender, although I do hope he surprises me, as it'll be nice to see him take it up against Gisbergen. But I reckon he will get a few podiums, top 5s and top 10s. I'm hoping to see him get a win this year. I was disappointed he didn't get a win last year, so I'm hoping he gets one this year. Next up is Team 18 entries. So we got Car 18 in the hands of Mark Winterbottom in the Urban entry. Car looks really nice. Looks similar to last year. Now they've got a white bonnet. I don't mind the white, actually. I quite like white on racing cars. I don't know what it is about it. Just like it. Now, not just him, but both of the Team 18 cars had an average year last year. They were really... you didn't see a lot of them, actually. They had a decent run in 2020, but come 2021, they just weren't as good as they were, which is disappointing. But I hope this year is good for them. Of course, they're a 888 customer, and so they've got the kit behind them. They just need to get their consistency right. They got to get everything right. Basically, they have the tools for it. They just need to use it efficiently. So I reckon he will probably be in the top 10 and 5. You know what? Maybe top 15. Definitely, just on the outside of top 10. But I think he has what it takes to probably. You know what? I'm going to change that. Probably let's make it top 7. So I reckon consistently top 7, top 15. I'm hoping to see him do better, but we'll have to wait and see. Similar to Scott Pye, now the DeWalt backing is no more. He's now got Seiko as a backing. Now the car looks really nice with the red and black. Now he had a similar year to Mark Winterbottom last year. So I'm expecting probably similar results as well. Maybe top 10. He definitely has potential. Of course, he won a race with Walkinshaw in Melbourne in 2018, so hopefully he can get it'll be cool to see a top 5, but I reckon he'll be similar to Mark Winterbottom in the top 7s. Next up is Premier Air Racing. Now we've got car number 22 in the hands of Chris Pither. Now he's got Coca-Cola sponsoring him yet again, so of course he was sponsored by them in 2020. 2020. That was just getting my years muddled up. Now, of course, that was Team Sydney at the time, but of course, Premier Air has now replaced them. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Of course, they've got a 888 car, and their car is actually being prepped at 888 for the start of the season. Now, they've got the tools for it, like, similar to Team 18, but they've had barely any practice. Of course, they didn't. They were given a different time for their pre-season testing, as they weren't ready when the Queenslander cars went out. But unfortunately, in that testing day, rain hit the track pretty heavily, and they were unable to, run anymore. So it'll be curious to see how they go this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. The cars look amazing. The Coca-Cola car looks amazing. Love the red, love the black. A lot of cars are red and black this year, I've noticed. But I can't wait to see what he does. I expect probably... I don't think he will probably make it into the top 10, or definitely not top 5 or podiums, but definitely top 13, I reckon. It'll be cool to see if he can make it into the 10, no doubt. I'm hoping for it, but realistically, I reckon he'll consistently be in the top 13. Next up is reigning Bathurst champion, Chaz Mostert, now in the car number 25. Now, he's got a new sponsor for the year. When I say sponsor, I mean he's got a new, major backing sponsor. Of course, Optus previously sponsored the car and him, but now they've gone as a major backing. And the car looks really nice as well. I love the white and blue in this one, and the black, like all the others. Car looks really nice. I prefer this car over Nick Percat's. I'm intrigued as to that he doesn't have the number 25 on the door, on the door panel, similar to Nick Percat. But I reckon it looks nice without it anyway. Now, he was really strong last year, very strong at the end of the year, of course, winning the 1,000 with Lee Holdsworth. I reckon he can be a championship contender this year. It's his best chance, similar to Anton. Just before Gen 3 hits the track. Excuse me. Now, I definitely reckon he's a championship contender. I think he has what it takes to take it on with Gisbergen. Now, all they need is just consistent results, and they should be okay. I can't wait for the championship battle this year. It's going to be exciting. Of course, it's the last one for the Holden Commodore. So it'll be cool to see Walkinshaw win the title for the last time in a Commodore, as they were once Holden racing teams. So it'll be cool to see. Expect a lot of wins, a lot of podiums, definitely top 10 all year and mostly top 5s. So expect that from him. Next up is Grove Racing second car number 26 in the hands of Dave Reynolds. Now, of course, similar to Lee, as I mentioned, he's got a battle on his hands for the seat for 2023, in my opinion. I'm not sure who's going to get it at the end of the year. I guess we just have to wait and see. But he wasn't very strong last year. That was more of the car package as well. Of course, he is a Bathurst winner for 2017. So it'll be cool to see if he can replicate that this year. I'm hoping for more consistent results from him this year. So I'm hoping for top 10s, maybe just a top 5 here and there. But probably realistically expect just outside the 10 all year, maybe a top 10 here and there. Next up is Jack LeBrock. Now, he's, of course, moved from Tickford to Matt Stone Racing, as well as Truck Assist. Now, they're the major sponsor for Matt Stone this year. And let me tell you, the cars look amazing. I love the dark grey, the matte grey. Matt Stone Racing here. The matte, just laughing at my terrible joke there. I like the orange and the grey. It's a nice mix. Especially orange wheels, they look amazing. I wish other cars had similar coloured wheels like that, but no, they're just gone with black or grey. But anyway, Jack LeBrock's performance, I reckon this is Matt Stone Racing's best chance for a good result, of course, in the Gen 2. Now, it's their only chance for a good result in Gen 2 because it's the last time they'll use Gen 2, of course. But I reckon they've been each year since they've started in 2018, they've gotten better and faster. They've got Triple Eight cars, 2 good drivers with experience. So I can't wait to see what they do this year. For Jack, I'm expecting probably top 15s, top 10s. I reckon they have what it takes for a top 10. It would be cool to see a podium or a top 5 from either drivers. So I can't wait to see what they do this year. Now, car number 35, his teammate, Todd Hazelwood. Now, he was in Red Drones Racing, of course, for a couple of years. Now he's moved back to the team that he won the Super 2 series with, and the number as well. So expect a similar. I expect a similar result. Probably consistent top 10s, top 15s. I reckon Todd's a good driver. He might get a top 5 as well. It'd be cool to see the Matt Stone Racing cars get a podium. I think we all would love to see that. But realistically, I reckon they have the potential for it, but consistently, I reckon they'll just get top 10s to 15s. But the car, I'll tell you, it looks amazing. Now, here's another rookie, our first rookie of the year on the list, that is car number 55, Castrol Racing, in the hands of Thomas Randall. Now, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. First off, his car looks sensational. Castrol did an amazing job. Castrol and Tickford did an amazing job making this car look pretty. Now, in his wildcard entries that he's done throughout the years, he has been very, very strong. I think he got a top 10, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, at the Bend Motorsport Park when he first debuted in the wildcard entry. So I can't wait to see what he does this year in his own car. So in my opinion, I reckon expect a lot of top 15s. As he is a rookie, it is a tough field, but I reckon he has what it takes. I'm just basing it off how he previously performed. I reckon he'll get a lot of top 10s. I reckon keep an eye on him. He'll get a lot of top 10s. I hope he surprises me with a top 5 here and there. But the car, I tell you, definitely looks quick. Next up is Tickford's other entry, the tradie entry, in the hands of Jake Kostecki. Now, of course, he was part of Matt Stone Racing last year, but now he's moved teams. Now he'll be driving the number 56. I can't wait to see what he does in the Tickford car. Now, of course, he's got the same hardware as Cam Waters, so I can't wait to see what he can do in that car. I reckon, because he did all right with Matt Stone Racing. It was pretty quick towards the end of it. I reckon he can get a lot of a couple top 10s, consistently probably run in the top 12, or maybe top 15. We'll say top 15. I reckon he can definitely do consistent top 10s though. If he has a good day. Maybe a top 5 as well, I reckon. So keep an eye out for him. I love the colours. I love the yellow and black combo. It looks like a basic livery, but it looks amazing at the same time. Next up is Premier's second car in the hands of Gary Jacobson in the Subway entry. Now, this car just looks amazing. I love it. Now, I believe it's only for a couple. They're signed on. Subway's signed on for 2 rounds, I think. Not sure if it's going to run for a whole year or not, but the car definitely looks really good. Definitely looks amazing. Now, in terms of performance, hopefully it can match its look. Of course, similar to Chris, 888 hardware, very little testing. I'm expecting probably top 15s, but maybe I reckon Gary has the potential for a top 10. I reckon if he can get into the top 10 at least a couple times this year, it'll be cool to see. Next up is Red Bull Racing's newest member to the full-time team, is young 19-year-old Brock Feeney, who's, of course, replacing 7-time champ Jamie Whincup, who's now replacing Roland Dane at the top there. So it's a lot of changes for Red Bull this year. I'm curious to see if that will impact how they perform. I don't think it will. They're clearly the team to beat. They've proven that for many, many years. And I reckon Feeney will fit in just fine. Car looks very similar to the last couple of years, but I really like the addition of the light blue and white. I reckon it's the best livery they've done in the Commodore days. The ZB Commodore days, that is. It's probably their best livery to date. I reckon Feeney, everyone's hyping him up. There's a lot of pressure on him to do well. I reckon he'll get a lot of top 10s. I think he has what it takes to have it to cut it into the 10s quite a lot. Consistently, maybe in the top 13. I'll say top 13 only because he's a rookie, and I don't want to overhype him yet. But I do believe he has what it takes for a top 10, even maybe a top 5. He's definitely got the tools for it. He just hasn't got the experience like the others. But experience doesn't always mean results. So he might surprise us with a podium and a win. You never know. Definitely has the potential for it. Red Bull wouldn't choose him if he isn't winning material. So I'll be curious to see how he goes this year. I can't wait to see. Now, next up is car number 96. Brad Jones' final entry on the list in the hands of Macaulay Jones. Now, the Coca-Cola sponsor is no more. Now he has Automotive Superstore. Now, similar to Heimgartner, I'm not sure if this is going to be a full-time livery or not, sponsor or not. The car looks really nice. It looks kind of stealthy, I'm not going to lie, similar to Cam Waters and Jake Kostecki. I love the yellow and the grey and the black. He didn't have a strong last couple of years. He's been in more of as a back marker, but I reckon this year he'll probably have a similar year. I reckon expect him to be in the top 15s. I reckon if he can get a top 12 or top 10 to a top 12, that'll be really cool. But consistently throughout the year, I expect probably top 15. The car definitely looks nice, though. Now, next up is car number 97, the reigning Supercars champion, Shane van Gisbergen. Now, I reckon he's definitely has what it takes to win another title this year. However, of course, it might be more of a challenge this year with Anton, Chaz, and Waters in the mix as well. And I have a feeling Anton will probably be and Chaz will probably be stronger and more challenging to battle. But I'm definitely not counting Van Gisbergen out. I think he definitely has the potential to win a title again this year. He was super strong last year, and I don't expect anything less from him. So expect a lot of wins, a lot of poles, a lot of podiums, probably consistent top 5, maybe a top 10 if he's having a bad day, which is amazing to say. If you're having a bad day and you're in the top 10, is it really a bad day? If you're Lewis Hamilton, it's the end of the world. But we're not going to get into that. Now, last on this list for today is car number 99, Brody Kostecki. Now, the second Erebus entry. Now, both him and Will had a great year last year, great rookie season. Can't wait to see what he does this year. I reckon Erebus is going to be the ones to look out for this year to surprise us all. They've been warming the top step. They've basically been preparing everyone for something big. And I reckon they're going to definitely be in the top 5s here and there for the year. I can't remember what I said about Will already, but I reckon they have what it takes to be in the top 5s, top 10s all the time. If they're having a bad day, probably top 13. But I definitely think they are winning material. And I for one will be excited to see how if they get a win. Now that's all the drivers. Now who are my championship contenders? Now I did mention them briefly. I've got a top 4. Of course, Shane van Gisbergen, no doubt, probably will win it again this year. He had a very, very strong year last year. But however, I think Anton De Pasquale is my next, is one just after him who has a chance. He's going to be stronger this year, I reckon. Of course, last year he was strong, but he was also probably getting used to the car as well and the team and the engineer. But I reckon, like I said, him being more comfortable this year, I reckon he'll be more of a challenge. And, of course, after him will be Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Of course, Chaz ended the year last year strong with a Bathurst win. And Cam Waters is usually strong throughout the year. Just needs to get that consistency right. So I think it's going to be a cracking battle this year. Can't wait. Of course, it's a special year as it's the last year before we move on to a whole new generation of cars. So I can't wait to see what they do. Now, of course, the teams aren't building new cars from what I believe, so let's hope they not completely wreck them and then, yeah. But anyway, moving on to probably the best livery for the year. Now, I'm not going to count out Premier Air Racing or BJR cars, the ones that are one round things. A livery is a livery. I'm going to vote probably my top 3 for the ones I've seen for the reveals. So they might be for the whole year, they might not, who knows. But the top step is no doubt, in my opinion, Boost Mobile Racing with the Airbus cars. I just think they look really nice with the orange, black and white. Like I said, it reminds me of the Walkinshaw and Andretti United cars in 2018, and I absolutely loved them. I just love it. It looks great, in my opinion. Prove me wrong. You can't, because it's my opinion. I would love to know speaking of that though, I would love to know what your opinion is. So let me know in the comments who you think is championship contender and has the best car livery for the year or the round. Who knows? Next up is probably Matt Stone Racing. They've got a really nice livery with Truck Assist Racing. Truck Assist powered by Matt Stone Racing. It looks really cool. I love the grey and orange. Plus, don't get me started on the orange rims. Woo! They look really cool. And probably third place will probably be both. I'm going to cheat here and say both of the Premier Air Racing cars. Now, both Coke and the Subway cars look amazing, look really cool. Plus the reveal they had in a stadium was really cool too. So I really hope they keep those liveries, especially the Coca-Cola one. It looks really amazing. But yeah, that's my top 3/4/3. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see what your opinions are. Of course, don't forget, all you supercar fans out there who tend to overhype things. I'm not, it's all my opinions. I'm not basing my predictions off opinions, just more performance. And I would love to know what you guys think, who will be strong this year, who won't, and yada yada. But all you Triple Eight haters, DJR haters, and so on, please don't attack me. This is simply just my opinion. And yeah, move on from that, because we're going to cause a lot of things. Anywho, so that'll be all for today, for this episode. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to hit a like, subscribe as well, do all that stuff. Go on my Instagram, yada yada yada. You can see it at the top in my channel there. Now, I do apologise as well that this looks like a school PowerPoint presentation. I don't mean for that. I've just been really busy. I wasn't too sure how to present this, but it's only the beginning. It's only the start of the year. There's a long way to go. So let me know what you guys think I should do to improve it, or let me know if you want to see more. If you don't, I'd love to know what you guys think. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Stay tuned for a round 1 debrief for SMP after this weekend, probably the following week. See how we go. But yeah, so that's all for today. Like I said, again, if you liked it and whatnot, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you next time for the Sydney Motorsport Park Round 1 debrief.